Do you guys recall what does it mean to change to exponential form?
No.
Okay, what's the invisible power like on the b? 1. What's the invisible root?
2.
2. So this would be 5 to the what power? 1/2. 8, and just keep going. Okay, we haven't done that a lot. There are a couple of these on the test, so you need to make sure you know how to do it.
Owen has a question.
No, I don't.
You put the power on top and the root on the bottom.
What about the B?
Yeah.
Same thing. I just stopped here. It's not done.
John, why are you back there? On number 2, where do you like?
Number 1's not finished yet. Keep going.
So,
Yikes.
That's what.
I should switch colors.
do pink.
No. Doesn't show up very well. There is no bright pink or anything. Okay, so it's a to the what power? Right, it's a to the 2/2, which is a to the 1, which is just a, so you don't really have to write a fraction on that one. And it's b to the 1/2. Okay, and this would be on number 2, 7 to the 1/3. A to the 4/3. You know what I should have done? Probably one of them. That's okay. And b to the,
Just B.
just b. B to the 3/3 is b to the 1. And b to the 1 is just b. Alright.
No.
Go put that over here.
No, you don't.
Oh, shoot.
It's like all
Hey, guys, we shouldn't be chatting right now. You should be doing these problems. This is not time for you to wait. It's time for you to do. If you can do it on your own, that is a good sign. If you have to wait for me to explain it, not a good sign.
I can do it on my own.
Really?
Yeah, I just don't do it.
Your homework? Yeah, that's not doing it on your own.
Really fix me. I sometimes get good grades. I'm passing. No. We're gonna make it boil.
This one's kind of a beast. Afraid of that one. Not leaving enough for room. I'd say
I didn't even know our word.
No one knows. Uncle Leroy, come on.
Yeah, Uncle Leroy.
I gave
What's
you
wrong
options
with
in
Sophia?
that mouse.
Uncle Leroy. Did you read?
No, I cracked that on the back. It's still a good crackle in back mode.
All right. You guys figure out number 3? Okay. If you are bad at this stuff, you might, some of these can be done with a nice calculator, like the white ones that I have. So you might wait until everybody, or get one, or wait till somebody's done and use theirs. I don't really care if you use a calculator on these. Like number 4 though, it won't help you. 3, calculator can do. 4, can't do. 5, not really, because the A's. 6, yes.
Can't do 4?
Well, it can't do the A part. It can do the square root of 12 part.
I mean,
Wait, why can't it do 4?
what's
Not
wrong
with
with 4?
It cannot do 4.
You changed it.
Because there's a cube root. I didn't change it, no.
You can do cube root.
I thought it was a 4.
Okay, it can't, it'll spit out a decimal for a cube root, which is not what we want. Even dumb calculators can spit out decimals for these, but that's not what we want. We want the square root answers like we've been doing all chapter. Square root of 75, what goes into 75? Okay, 5 and 15, it's also 3/4 makes 75 cents, right? So this will be double 5, so it's 5 square root of 3. I probably didn't leave enough room for all these. See if I can slide this down. All right, what goes into 3,000?
2 and 1,500.
How about 3 times 1,000? What goes into 1,000? 10 times 100, right? Each time you multiply by a 10, it adds a 0. If you divide by 10, it takes away a 0.
5 plus 2.
Yeah, 5 and 2, and 100 is 10 times 10, and there's some 5 and 2s. Okay, so because it's a cube root, you need a triple to get out. So I see a triple 5 and a triple 2, which means 5 times 2 gets out 10. But what is left behind?
3.
Yeah, just that little 3 over there. Okay, a calculator can do square root of 12, it just can't do the 8. So 12 is 2 square root of 3. But you leave a little space here between 2 and square root of 3. How did we do the A's? You guys remember?
We had a 2 outside and then you
Yeah.
had to divide, right?
Yes, we did 5 divided by 2. What is 5 divided by 2? 2 with the remainder of 1. That means 2 comes out, 2 A's come out, A squared comes out, and 1 is left behind. Another way you could do this, I was trying to figure out, I don't know if this might be easier. A to the 5th, you guys know what that means? A times A times A times A times A. You could think of it like, kind of like we would do with the numbers, like a double A and a double A comes out. So A squared comes out and 1A is left behind. Is that easier? Okay. Well, if you're good at division, like simple division, it's probably easier that way, but this is more like what we do with the numbers. I couldn't figure out which was easier, but maybe it's this way because, so A to the 5th just means 5 A's multiplied together. So what comes out is double A. A times A is A squared, and 1A left behind. All right, square root of 7, you can multiply these together. It's just gonna be, let's see, what is it, 147? But of course that simplifies. What goes into 147? Well, 21 times 7 does, right? And 21 is 7 times 3, so this is gonna be 7 square root of 3.
And you would, if those didn't combine, you would just do the square root of each? Or what would you do if those didn't combine? There won't be a question like
What do you mean if they didn't combine?
Like if they didn't multiply?
It says multiply, just multiply. If, you mean if one was like a normal and one was a square root?
Yeah, you just leave it?
Yeah, that doesn't really simplify. That would just be that. Yeah, if they're both square roots, just multiply them together and you still got a square root answer. Okay, number 7 is up here. This one on the test is even scarier looking than what it is right now. Maybe I'll be nice and make it a bonus, maybe not.
You should.
I'll think about it.
That'd be so kind.
The numbers on the test are bigger than those, that's why it's scary. They are cube roots though. No, I'm talking about 7. 8's not that bad, it's a little bad, not too bad. A calculator can do 8, by the way. If it's just square roots, a calculator can do it. Okay, well, what kind of problem is 7? Distribute. That's not, it's not terrible, it's just the numbers are bigger on the test, I guess. Let's see, 4 times 26, I believe, is 104. And 4 times 30 is 120. Okay, do these two mix? Can you subtract these? No. You can only add and subtract if they're the same kind of square roots. And these are not. So, no. But what can we do? The tree thing. Both of these will probably simplify. If they have triples in them, if they have any triples in them, they will simplify. What goes into 104? 2 and 52. 52 is 2 times 26. I'll try not to stay annoying. This is 2 times 13. So that does have a triple 2 in it. So that would be 2 cube root of 13. What goes into 120? 12 and 10. There's lots of stuff you could choose. 3 and 4, 2 and 5 and 2 and 2. Okay, so that one also has a triple 2.
And then times 5 and 3.
Yeah, 3 times 5 is left behind. So that would be 15. A lot of times we forget to write the cube root, the third root thing right here. Because square roots you don't have to. Do these subtract? No. If they were both like cube root of 13 or cube root of 15, they would, but that's as much as we can do.
That wasn't too bad.
Yeah, like I said, the one on the test, the numbers are just bigger.
Just gonna be remembering what to do is the
It's-
fun part.
Well, it's distributive property. It looks like distribute, right?
Yeah.
And then after that, it's basically the same as number 4, like the tree. You just do the tree on it. It's not terrible. It's kind of borderline between bonus and not. And you could get half credit, like if you got half of it. Okay. Anyways, if we were not using a calculator, what can we do on number 8? Okay, it doesn't divide exactly. It does reduce. You could divide both of these by 2, and it's by square root of 2. If you divide them both by square root of 2, you would get that. Then what? Well, if you see something like square root of 25, a little light bulb should go off in your head. Square root of 25 is just 5. If the denominator did not simplify, you cannot leave a square root on the bottom. So remember we like multiply by square root of 25, whatever's on the bottom, like that. But because square root of 25 just turns into a normal 5, we don't really have to do that. You just stop right there. That does not simplify.
So if it didn't, we would do, if it didn't simplify, the same.
And your calculator can do that one too. But if it was like a cube root, if it didn't simplify, you'd multiply the top and bottom by whatever the square root of, whatever square root was on the bottom. Alright. Number 9, I'm all over the map. Where are we? Okay, I gotta think about this one a minute. Let's try that. Some of these are hard for me to make up a problem. Yeah, you probably don't want that hoodie, do you? Maybe the AC will turn on if we get no shirt underneath. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. It's supposed to be a little bit cloudy today. Did you guys hear that?
It looks pretty clear.
So, about noon, it's supposed to get a little cloudy.
That'll be sad.
So it'll probably be an eclipse through a thin cloud, is what they said.
Not me, but it's not gonna be like where we can't see it.
We just can't see it as well. It'll get pretty dark outside. I mean, we kind of have to look through glasses anyway, so.
Outside it'll look like twilight, it'll be weird.
Yeah, there was one like 10 years ago. Were you guys in school 10 years ago?
Yeah. Wait, no, it was 2017.
Were you guys like in, you think you were in 3rd grade?
Yeah, yeah.
It disappears.
Oh, it was one in 3rd grade. And then we went outside, it was like halfway over.
All right.
It was like,
What do we need to do first on this number 9? Right?
Oh, you can square root. 20.
It's always this class went through it. Excuse me. Tried to clear my throat, then I had a little hiccup.
What laughing?
That's okay, that happens.
You got a comment, Miranda? You did it again. Every time I do that, I hiccup.
You're gonna break it.
All right. Right now, these two do not subtract, but 20 can simplify. Shh, guys. Going. Hey. Simplifies to 2 squared to 5. So this is 3 squared to 5 minus 2 squared to 5, which is what?
5 squared to 5.
No, minus
1
1 squared to 5. What's 1 squared to 5? The same thing as square root of 5. Number 10, I guess I got the hiccups. Number 10 is kind of the same thing. Just bigger. If I did it right, they should all go together eventually. But I made it up in my head, so sometimes I screwed up. if they don't go together, you just leave them separate. Yeah, the good calculators can do all square root problems as long as there's no letters or cube roots or fourth roots or whatever. Okay. Hey, maybe I should ask you guys to do this. Hello, testing. Bad. Does anybody want to try this, maybe? Instead of me?
Leo.
Alright, Moses. Shh.
So you can take 3 and 6.
Okay, so 3 comes out, but it joins the 2.
6.
So it's 6 square root of 2. 216, that's kind of a big one. Does anybody know what goes into 216?
2
Oh, I did do it wrong. That's okay. That's alright, it's fine. 2 and 108. Okay, what else? 2 and 54.
3 and
54, you guys remember, is like 6 times 9? Okay. So what comes out? There's a double 2 and a double 3. So 3 times 2 comes out times the 3 that's already there. 3 times 2 is 6, times another 3 is 18. I don't know where I'm going to put all this.
18 square root of 6.
Yeah, this one's large. Alright, square root of 54. Kind of did 54 right there. So a 3 comes out. 4 times 3 is 12. And that one has a 6 also. So now what can we do?
Combine like
Right.
square root of 6. Mr. Jordan.
Yeah.
How did you get 18?
18. So a 3 and a 2 came out, which is 6. And there's already a 3 out there.
Wait, how did we get 6 over 2 on that one over there?
Okay, so when you take a 3 out, it's going to join the 2 that's already there. So that's a 6. 3 times 2. So it's like, by itself, that's 3 squared root of 2, right?
Yeah.
But there's a 2 in front, so it's 2 times 3 squared root of 2.
Oh.
So it's 6 squared root of 2. Yeah, the numbers in front make it a little bit more. Okay. So we got 18 of those minus 12 of those makes 6 of those. So 6 squared root of 2 plus 6 squared root of 6. Do those add? No, they do not. Okay, what kind of problem is number 11? Foil.
That was at home.
So try foiling that. 6 squared 2 plus 6 squared 6. Right there. Oh, sorry, that's 10. Sorry, that was 10. 11's right here. My bad. My God. Okay, when we FOIL this, what is the first going to be? 5 times 4, 20. What is the outside? Negative 35 square root of 3. 5 times negative 7, whoops, is negative 35. Okay, inside, 4 times square root of 3. Does not simplify. It's just 4 square root of 3. And the last, square root of 3 times 7 square root of 3. Square root of 3 times square root of 3 is what? 3. It's the square root of 9, which is 3. Times the 7, that's already there. 21. Is there anything else we can do? 20 minus 21 is negative 1. Negative 35 square root of 3's plus 4 square root of 3's is negative 31 square root of 3's. Okay, 12 is a multiply again. Yeah, I'm not gonna mess that up. There you go. Okay, Brian, what we do on this one? Okay.
Which would be 16. Then you would do 3 plus 1 because a to the third power plus
Right.
a to the first power. Then you do b plus 1, so it'd be 16a4 b squared.
Okay, we are missing something. You know what we're missing? It's still in the square root.
Oh, yeah.
So how do we do the square root of that?
We simplify 16 to 4.
Square root of 16 is 4. Square root of a to the fourth,
a to the second,
a to the second,
b to the first.
and b to the first, or just b. So it's kind of like 4 divided by 2 with the exponents, or 2 divided by 2. Anyways. Okay, let me write down 14. Yep. That one's kind of a mess. All right, 13, what do we do?
Well, you see,
If you're not using the calculator.
we multiply by who you first.
Multiply by square root of 7. You cannot leave, this does not divide because there's 2 terms up here. But we can't leave the square root in the denominator, and the way you fix it is multiply by square root of 7. Okay, the top times square root of 7 would be distribute. Alright, let's try again. Luke, what's square root of 7 times square root of 7?
7.
Hey, you got it. Good job, Luke.
You got it.
1.
Alright, now if everybody else could get that, then we'd be good. Negative 4 times square root of 7 doesn't really do anything. It's just negative 4 square root of 7. And the bottom is square root of 7 times square root of 7. 7. Alright. Can we reduce that? No. The reason we cannot reduce it is because it's supposed to divide into both of these terms, so you can't just divide it into one. If they were both terms were divisible by 7, you could, but they're not, so no. Yeah, it's not too bad. Okay, 14 is the harder version of that. How do we fix 14? If there's 2 terms in the denominator, you have to multiply by the conjugate, was what they called it.
The opposite?
It's kind of, the plus in the middle switches to a minus, or vice versa. So you have to multiply by 2 minus square root of 3.
Would you do 4?
This is a FOIL. Now, the bottom is a FOIL, but it's the easier kind because conjugates, the outside inside of the FOIL cancels out. So you can just do first and last. So the first is 2 times 2, 4, and the last is square root of 3 times negative square root of 3. Negative square root of 9, which is 3. Will we ever get it? I don't know. Okay. up here is a FOIL. First, outside, inside, last. So everything gets multiplied. So first is 3 times 2. Outside, inside, last. Oh. If this was the one on the test, the calculator could not do it because it's really, really messy. It's got like 4 different terms. I don't know if the one on the test is like that or not. Actually, I don't think it's going to be that bad. But can I simplify the numerator? No, these are all not like terms.
Seriously.
The denominator is 4 minus 3, which is 1, and anything over 1 is just itself. So it kind of, denominator just kind of goes away. Alright. We are mostly there. Let's see how many problems we have left.
We should just,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
we could just do the rest tomorrow.
The test on these days.
Heck no.
Thursday.
Alright. Probably not. Alright. Solve for x. That's the question. Yep. Oh, shoot.
Hey, nice. Yeah. Holy
Alright. This was the worksheet from Friday, you guys remember? Yep. X squared plus 10 squared equals 15 squared. I have to come back to that one. Go ahead and try and solve that. If you haven't yet. No, just wait. Okay, on 15, so what is 15 squared and 10 squared? 10 squared is 100, 15 squared is 225, minus 100, so we get x squared is 125, so then what do we do? Square root, yeah, square root of 125. 125 is, 5 times 25, there's 3 5s inside there. So it's gonna be 5 square root of 5. The more work you can show me on that, the better. It's usually, the bigger problems are usually more like an essay than just a right yes or no. Okay, 16, Bob stands, this will be like, the word problem will be right after 15, so. Bob stands 20 feet away from a tree. What should we do on this problem? Draw a picture.
Beautiful tree.
Thank you. I should have been the art teacher.
That is the
Yeah.
Christmas tree.
Mrs. Shellac got sent away for her job.
Yeah, Mrs. Shellac.
You should put an ornament.
Could have been a math teacher.
Okay, Bob is over here. So, he is 20 feet from the tree. You guys know that that symbol meant feet?
Yeah.
The tree is 30 feet tall. How far is Bob from the top of the tree? So how would we set that up?
30 squared, 20 squared equals squared.
Yeah, that's another Pythagorean theorem. Those are large numbers. 20 squared is 400, 30 squared is 900. And if you add those together, it's 1300. So it's the square root of 1300. 1300 is like 13 times 100, right? And 100 is 10 times 10. So it's just going to be 10 square root of 13. On this one, actually, I might prefer a decimal because we're talking about the length of something. You wouldn't say the length of this, you know, something in real life. You wouldn't say the length of this is 10 square root of 13. You would change it to a decimal. So I'd probably take the decimal or that answer on this one. Okay, gosh. I'm going to jump straight to the hardest equation. So really quick though, if I have square root of x equals 7, how do I solve that? You square both sides. So it'd just be like 49. Okay, now the hard version of that okay, now how do we do this? Is 17, I guess. How do we do that? Right, we want to get the square root by itself. So it's kind of like if you had 3 plus 2x equals 11, you would subtract 3 and divide by 2, right? So subtract 3. Divide by 2. And then what do we do once we get the square root by itself? Square it. That gets rid of the, sorry it's messy. That will get rid of the square root over here and 4 squared becomes 16. Okay, what's something we need to remember on these? And I'm guessing one of them on the test will be like this. Sometimes when you get an answer, it doesn't actually work. There might be no solution, so you're supposed to plug this back in and see if it actually makes the equation true. So one of these could be no solution. I don't know. I don't really remember for sure. Okay, the last question. What number are we on? 18. I had to skip a couple. Okay, is to find the midpoint. No graphing. And the distance between those 2 points on a graph. You don't actually have to graph it. I'm going to leave these formulas up here, but you need to know how to use it. X plus x over 2. Okay. Maybe I'll talk about it at the beginning of class tomorrow if you remind me.